Morning, everybody. We live now. We are live now. It's Monday morning. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Thought I'd go live for about an hour. We'll wait for some people to come into the room, play with this camera a little bit. This thing all squared away. I'm trying to get the view on the camera in a better situation. I got a big screen and I'm putting the camera here so it doesn't look like I'm looking up all the time. I think I'm gonna have to get another boom arm for or move the TV up or something. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the live. Hey, drop a comment as you come in so we know where you're from. Let me know what you're into, hot rod wise, motorcycles, cars, whatever. I'm gonna maybe work on the IDI today. It's supposed to rain here today. So if it rains, I don't know. I'm probably going to have to work inside the studio. I got this little 212 Predator motor. I'm really thinking about getting in and starting to build these things, man. They're so cool. A lot of people use them on go-karts racing and stuff like that. I'm thinking about starting to build them and offer them or something. I don't know. I'm gonna do a video on them. So I'm gonna tear one down and modify it. We got a mini bike project. I got these really cool lights, man. I'm gonna check these out. We're lucky to be able to get these. These things are a bargain, man. I'm not kidding you. I've done electrical for like 30 years now. That's what I do for a living. I build police cars. And so I'm really familiar with lighting, and I found these lights and they offered them to me because I'm part of Amazon, but so I had them sent to me so I could see what quality of the light they are. And man, they're a nice quality. They're all aluminum housed, they're waterproof, and they're like crazy bright, like 32,000 lumens or something. And it comes with 4 of them. You get 4 a pack. So what I'm thinking about doing, I'm gonna use these on a mini bike project. And because they're only 7 inches, I'm gonna turn 2 sideways in the front like that on the mini bike. Man, I tell you what, these lights are like aircraft carrier lights. They're super bright. I'm blown away. They have 2 different they got like a spot beam on them, and then they got a wider beam. But anyway, I thought I'd get on here. Hey, there's everybody, 35 in the room. How you guys doing this morning? We get a lot of usuals here that come every time, which is really cool. Get great for my Can-Am. Hey, yeah, for sure. You know what? I was a little surprised. So I was going to put these, I was looking for a bar to put on my Chevy pickup, and I got these offered to me, and I was like, they couldn't be that good a quality for the price, but I ordered them just to see. I was blown away. Skull 69. I was blown away. They're good quality, and they got a really nice, and the hardware is all stainless steel. But I was a little surprised because normally, the hardware is all junk, so you have to buy new hardware. But the stainless steel hardware, which is pretty nice, and you get 4 of these for like $40, and they're crazy bright, man. So anyway, there's a link on the screen and on the thing if you're interested in them. Anyway, I'm going to put these on the mini bike. I'm going to turn 2 sideways to make like a crazy headlight for that mini bike project. I'm going to put these in the front like that. But I was going to buy these, and I thought, well, you know what? I was going to use them on my motorhome. And I said, well, I put those on the Chevy pickup maybe. So I just went ahead and ordered them. But man, I was blown away how bright they are. I'll show some video of them when I get them done. Anyway, I don't know if you guys are into mini bikes or go-karts and stuff. I've been messing around with these little 212 Predator motors. They're really cool. I mean, you can build them dirt cheap, and they're a neat little project. Like if you have somebody you're trying to teach mechanics to, man, they're great because they're really super cheap. And then there's all kinds of aftermarket parts for them. Like you can put in a flat top piston, you can put in a better exhaust, and so they got a couple. They have 2 versions of these, though. They have what they call the Hemi and the non-Hemi, And they say the non-EME are the ones you want to try to modify. But they come at like 6.5 horse, but you can pump them up to like 30 horse. It doesn't sound like much, but when it's sitting in like an 80-pound go-kart, man, it's quite a bit of. This was in that mini bike. So I pulled it out because we're going to build this mini bike for a younger kid. And I don't want to give him a mini bike that will go 60 miles an hour. Anyway, I just thought we'd get some traction on the live this morning. I'm going to go out and do a rear brake job on the F250 today. If you guys aren't familiar, I'm Go Big. I've been a mechanic for 40 years. We do Friday night lives where we give away tools on Friday nights. If you come in on Friday night, we do a trivia. And matter of fact, I got to get my tool. This is what we gave away last week. It's pretty cool. We gave this away at the live last week. It's a NoCo Genius 1 battery charger with a turbo hit 150 today on YouTube. Yeah, it's crazy, man. You know what I thought about doing? I thought about building something and put 2 of these, hook them up, dual motor it, like do like a go-kart and put dual 212s on there. So it'd be like 424 cc's on a go-kart. Man, that thing would scream. But yeah, we gave this, well, you can't even see what it is. It's early, man. Too early for an old man like me. We gave this away at the live last Friday. Matter of fact, I got to get this. Oh, I didn't realize that was you, maggot. That's what happens when you're half asleep, man. I was just messing around this morning. I've been trying to get in the habit of coming on here for about an hour in the morning. So it gives me a chance to, I'm getting to where I kind of like hanging out with you guys for an hour every morning, get my day going. But this is you already know that's the thing we give away. But check it out, man. We got these. I ordered these, man, and I was a little skeptical. I was like, man, they can't be that nice for the price. But check them out. These things are crazy. I'll pull up the specs on it real quick so I can tell you what they are. I don't want to tell you the wrong numbers. They're like crazy, man, for the price. I got my camera right down. I moved my camera down here so I don't look like I'm looking down at you guys all the time, but then it's right in my way. They're a light bar. You get 4 of these, so you can stack them end to end, or you can stack them too high or too whatever you want to do with them. And they're 480 watts and they're 48,000 lumens. These things are crazy bright, man. I mean, I was shocked at how bright they are. And get you guys back up. These things are, but you get 4 of these modules and they're 7 inches long, and they got all stainless steel hardware, which I was a little surprised. You know, usually when you buy stuff that comes with really crappy hardware, but all the hardware is stainless steel. And you get 4 of these for like $42, I think. So they're like $10 a piece, man. And I've done a lot of lighting. This is the type of lighting I've done in the past with the highway patrol, well, not highway patrol, with the police car stuff. I do a lot of lighting. And when I seen these, I was like, you know what, I'm going to order them because they said they were aluminum housed. So I said, we'll see. So I went ahead and ordered them. And then, but because we're part of that YouTube program, we get these and we can offer these at a good price, 40-something bucks. That's a good deal. They won't stay there. This is like they're just trying to get their product out there. So once they get some traction, these will probably double in price. If you guys have any use for these, man, buy them now. There's a link on the screen and there's a link down in the subscription. So what are you guys doing? Anybody? We got 4 people in here. That's okay. What are you guys doing today? I think I'm going to do the brakes on the F250 today if it doesn't rain. It's supposed to rain here in California today. It really cooled down here in the last couple of days. I mean, you guys it's probably not, you're probably used to a lot cooler, but it dropped down to like 50 yesterday. So that's pretty cool here for this time of year. But supposedly it's going to rain today. Can you guys hear? Is the audio okay? Because I messed with this mic some. Getting my mic figured out. 9 p.m. Monday here. And 9 p.m. Well, this is a good time then for you to show up, huh? Because it's not crazy late when I get on real early. Pretty soon I'll probably, are you a Jew? No, I'm not a Jew. Why would you think I'm a Jew? Just because I got my hat on like that? Why do people say that? I don't understand it. What makes you a Jew? Because you're wearing something on your head? I've been called a Jew because I try to like talk people down on prices, but no, I'm not a Jew. The one. Anyway, I got to get my phone going, so I don't even know if I can do that. Let's see if I can do that in here. Yeah, okay. I can moderate. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna go get rear brake parts for my Ford F-250 today. I might drag the camera out there and do a live while I'm doing it. I'm not sure. See if it rains, I won't be able to do it because I can't get my camera out there to get all wet. The one sounds good. No, okay. Thanks for letting me know the audio sounds good. Yeah, man, our video that we just dropped is doing great. I was surprised. It was getting off to a slow start, but man, it really took off in the last 24 hours. It's really taken off. I think it's going to be a pretty good one. So that's nice. We put a lot of effort into our videos, and man, when you put 8 or 10 hours into a video and it just doesn't get any traction, is it a drum rear? Yeah, it is. Yep. When I bought it, it was I wasn't sure if the differential was locked up or the brakes were locked up because when I bought it, the truck didn't even have batteries in it. I couldn't start it, and so I went with my winch and my trailer. And when I went to pull it on the trailer, the rear wasn't turning. I had it out of gear, and I had the emergency brake released, but the back wasn't turning. Man, I drug that sucker up on that trailer with my winch. I got a 12,000-pound winch on my trailer. And man, we just drug it up there, man. It just drug it. Wheels not turning, had 3 flat tires. But anyway, when I got it home, I finally had a heck of a time getting the drum off. And then when I got the drum off, it was somebody had been in there. It had broken a spring, and they went in there and they like wrapped a piece of wire around the spring. And what it did, it got a hold of the emergency brake cable and it pulled it. And so it had the emergency brake was being applied. The handbrake on for 20 years. Definitely not a Jew. No, I'm not a Jew, man. And so I think I'm going to do wheel cylinders on it, and I'm going to put new shoes on it and fix put all new hardware on it, all new springs and everything while I'm in there. Because that's kind of holding me up. I can't move it it had no brakes. I backed it out of the driveway a couple weeks ago, and there's like no brakes on the thing at all. So when I got it, there was not even no brake fluid in it. It was just bone dry. And so I'm sure it had a leak somewhere. So I'm gonna start with the rear brakes because I know these need to be done. And then I got a little fuel leak up front. The 7.3 have these little caps that go on. They call them top hats. And they got an O-ring on them, and that thing's been sitting 10 years, so all those O-rings are all dried up. So I'm going to go in there and put new top caps on and stuff. I'm thinking I'm going to start trying to do some lives when I'm doing those repairs. It's kind of interesting because you get to see something other than me sitting here yakking away, drinking coffee. It's kind of nice in the mornings, though. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably what happened. That thing was, it sat for 10 years. It worked out pretty good though. I only paid like $700 for that truck. But I didn't know if the motor ran or if the transmission was functional. I didn't know nothing about it, until I got it home. But I got it running. It runs good. That's going to be one of our projects. I want to cut the exhaust off and split it and come to the back and bring 2 stacks up out of the back, maybe point them sideways, kind of like that. So we're gonna do 3-inch open exhaust on that thing. It should be really loud. Hopefully the police will leave me alone. We'll see. Around here anymore. Like I was just looking up on that Predator motor, those little Predator motors I've been talking about. You can't even order some of them, and you can't get them shipped to California. They're not California compliant. Ridiculous. But they're just a little like a go-kart motor, and you can't. If you live in California, they won't ship them to you. So I got to go to Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight has them, but they're like they're like 180 on Amazon, but on Harbor Freight, I think they're like 120. And then you can tear them down and you can make them into like a little screaming little motor. I'm kind of interested in them because you can teach auto repair with them. They're really kind of nice to teach, just like basic automotive. I don't know if I even showed you what I got my new camera set up, so it works pretty good. It's like a camera right now. My face. Be a better camera than look at my nostrils. Anyway, this is that little 212 I was telling you about. So all I did so far was I pulled a gas tank off. What else did I pull off this thing? I just pulled the gas tank and I pulled the front cover off. And I think what I'm going to do is right here in the front, this is where the pull start rope is. I'm just going to leave that off, and I'm going to start this thing with my impact gun, with my electric impact, so I ain't got a crank on it. I don't want to pull on this thing if I don't have to. I thought about putting a little starter on it, but you got to change the flywheel to do the starter. So I think I'm just going to leave that off. Just take my little, take my Milwaukee out there and fire it with my Milwaukee. ASX 500R. I was just talking about this little, this is a little Predator 212 little motor that you can actually get these at Harbor Freight now. But these make great little go-kart motors and like mini bike motors. You can pump them up, man, big time. Just for a couple $100, you can buy a brand new one of these for like $125. For about $300, you can make a little screamer out of these things. They'll do like 70 miles an hour, man. I'm not kidding you, in a mini bike. But you can pump these things up to like 25 horsepower. They're only rated at like 6.5. But you can get they have a governor in them that you can take out. This is a governor right here. You take this out and then put a new different kind of carburetor. The carburetors are super cheap. All the parts are super cheap, man. You can get camshafts for them. You can get different type of rocker arms. So you can do a lot to them. Stand the right way first. So I got my better camera now where we can, because it makes it nice because I can move the camera around. When you do the live with just a laptop thing, you're kind of limited to what. Let me get this thing all zoomed in or something. Yeah, I did. On the laptop, you can't move the camera around, so it's hard to show people stuff. So it's pretty cool. Here, you know what? Let's see. Is this thing on? Yeah. So you guys probably can't tell how bright these are. Here, I'm going to show you something about this. Remember that battery charger I was telling you guys about? This is the nice thing about that charger, man. It's got a 12-volt supply on it. So like right now, I want to test this light. You can put this charger in that supply mode. Put it in there first. You just hold the button for 5 seconds. And so now it gives you a supply, so you can just hook these up. It's like having a battery. So if you want to test something, it's nice because you can test light bulbs with it and a horn or a fan or whatever, It gives you a way to test them. And they're pretty well insulated. I know you guys can't tell by where you're at, but man, look at this. You see how bright that is? These things are crazy. They're like 48,000 lumens. So I'm going to offer these. These are available on here. So if you click on that link, you get 4 of these. So that's cool about that little charger, huh? So that gives you like a 12-volt supply. Like you want to do some testing on a bench or something. It's nice. And these were on sale during Amazon days for like $80. They're like 99 now. And there's a link in the description for this stuff. But I'm going to mount 2 of these on the mini bike. It has a real nice front end on it, so I'm going to mount them like that side by side. And it'll look like an aircraft carrier coming down the road. So anyway, those are cool. I was surprised what good quality they are. They're waterproof too. So you can use these on your boat. You can use them on like a 4-wheel drive. I was going to put one inside my box on my trailer to give me some lighting, like if I needed it. But I don't know. We'll see. They're super bright. They might be too bright for that. I was blown away how bright they are because I've done a lot of lighting and they're bright. I mean, they'll blind you. You can't look at them. They'll actually, yeah. So what it does is on the battery charger, it has a 12-volt supply. So you just push it and it gives you 12 volts at the end of the leads constant. And these are so the way these are built, you can't even hardly make them touch if you try. So it's pretty good setup. And I'm going to start. We have these at work, and I never realized they had the 12-volt supply on them. I'm going to start using these because I bench test a lot of stuff at work. Like I want to test a blower motor or like, a headlight or anything. I can test it with this right on the bench instead of, I always tell people test stuff. I don't care if it's brand new. Especially if it's a pain in the butt to install, man. You want to test it ahead of time. Because some things, you don't test them, like starter motors. I bench test every starter motor. Because some of them are a pain. And you get them all in there and find out there's a problem with the brand new starter and you got to redo the job. And that irritates me. So I test everything prior to going in. And that's a nice little test. It's only rated at 10 amps, though. So you got to be careful with what you're actually testing. But these things here, man, I bet you these little lights probably only draw like maybe a half an amp at the most. Real low amperage. But I'm going to put those I'm going to put 2 of them on the mini bike. I might only have to use 1. They look cool side by side, and I got a spot up front that 2 of them will fit in there. But 2 might be too much because, man, they're blazing bright, man. I mean, blazing bright. And I don't know if I can run those without protectors on them in California without getting pulled over. They're like a light bar for like a 4-wheel drive. If I had a 4-wheel drive or a Razor or something like that, man, this thing would be great for that. And they're reasonable. And the reason they're reasonable is because we get a good deal on them right now. They give us a really good bargain on them because they're trying to push their product. It's called, let me see so I can tell you what they're called. It's a company called Yeego. They're new on the market for lighting. It's called Yeego, Yeego Direct. And they're a new lighting company. So they're trying to push their product. And because they're pushing their product, they're like giving them out a really good discount right now. I bet you by next year, those will be $150. But you figure if you put them side by side, they're 7 inches. So you can make a 28-inch light bar. And then if you just put a 2-inch space between them, you could be like 36-inch light bar for $40. That's a good deal. And I bought some light bars working, where I work that are $500, especially on the patrol car stuff. Yeah, for sure. What are you doing today, Maggie? Did you have your coffee? Oh yeah, it's 9:00 p.m. your time, isn't it? It's about bedtime, isn't it? What time do you stay up pretty late, even though it's 9 p.m. there? Hey, SX 500R. If you haven't subscribed, give us your subscription. We're gonna be doing some cool stuff. We got some neat stuff coming up. We're doing a little mini bike project. And then I'm going to get going on. I got a 7.3. Always got a coffee, bro. I drink too much coffee. I totally drink too much coffee, man. But, I don't sleep much. So I think, what time I go to bed last night? I think I went to bed at 10. I went to bed a little early last night, and then I was up at 3. So 5 hours is about all I need. Sometimes when I'm really tired, though, man, I'll take a little nap in the middle of the day. I've been looking into getting a prefab shop put up at the house. I got a garage at the house, but I just got too much stuff going on. I need a bigger shop. I'd like to build a shop, man, but it's expensive. I got a quote from a place here locally, and they quoted me like 30 grand to put in a 40 by 60, which I need, because I want to keep my motorhome. I like to get my motorhome in out of the weather. Right now, it's just sitting outside, and my bikes are sitting outside, and I got to do something about getting my bike's got to come in somehow. Man, we just got a big push. We got 20 people in the room. Hey, if you just showed up, my name's Go Big. I talk automotive repair. We talk about motorcycles and hot rods and that kind of stuff. And we drop videos automotive related. So if you just join us, put down in the comment where you're from and what you're into. We just highlighted some new LED lights that we just got a good bargain on. We're going to offer to the viewers, man. If you have a full drive or like an ATV, a Razor or something like that, man, these things, I just got them in. They're blazing. I mean, they are blazing bright. We're going to put this on a little mini bike project we're doing. Anybody ever built any of these 212 Predator motors? I'm really impressed by them. Because they're cheap. That's the thing. They're cheap to work on. You can get people that don't know nothing about automotive, and it teaches them the basics of, intake, compression, power exhaust. Has a carburation. It has an ignition system. You can work on them with just some hand tools, just some hand wrenches. What's up, dude? How are you? Hey, Infa. Hey, Infa. Am I saying your name right? Infa. This guy's from India, man. That's cool. I like getting people from all over the country in here. It makes it interesting. How are you doing today? Doing good. Having coffee. I was just telling these guys I just got these cool lights in, man. I'm trying to. I'm gonna test them a little bit, but I was surprised. They said they were aluminum housed and well sealed, so I ordered a set of them, and man, they're blazing bright, like crazy bright, and a good bargain. We get a good deal on this because they're trying to push their product right now. So they're a new light company on the scene, and but they offer these to us for like $40. You get 4 of these modules for $40, and they come with stainless steel hardware, which is a little surprising because I put a lot of lighting on stuff over the years, and you never get stainless steel hardware. A lot of times we have to buy stainless steel hardware after we buy the kits because we don't want our stuff to rust, because we do stuff we want it to last. And this stainless steel, if you ever bought any of that, okay, Infa, I'm saying your name right. Thanks for letting me know. A lot of times I'm saying people's names wrong because I'm trying to figure it out, and it's like, hey, you got a business there in India, right? What kind of business do you have? I'm just shooting a bull for you guys that are here. Just showed up. We're just kind of shooting a bull this morning. I might do a rear brake job on an F-250 today. If I do, I'll do a live so you guys can watch. What do you guys think about me doing that? Doing lives while I'm doing repairs. It's hard to keep track of the comments when I'm doing it, but you can sit and watch everything I'm doing. I could talk it as I'm doing it, so maybe people could learn a little bit. It's a fancy store and footwear. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that. When you told me that yesterday, Infa, I must have missed it. A lot of times I get a lot of comments going, and I try to keep track of it, but sometimes I get distracted. I'm easily distracted. It's a fancy store and footwear. Really? So right now, I think, Infa, your time, isn't it like 2 p.m. or something? What's the time of your time in India right now, Infa? I know Maggot's here right now, and it's 9 p.m. at his time. It's 6:18 in the morning here for me. I just thought I'd get on here. I'm getting where I like to hang out for a little bit with you guys in the mornings. Go hang out with my bros. You know, I don't have to fire up the Harley. I can just go hang out with the dudes in the bedroom. My girl gave me some slack yesterday a little bit though, because I'm spending too much time on my YouTube stuff. But I'm trying to build a business out of this. 6:50 p.m. So it's nighttime for both of you guys. It's supposed to rain here today. Man, I don't like rain. I'm one of those guys. When it starts raining, I just hate it. I got to build me a. That's what's cool about the studio. I got a pretty nice little studio here that I call it my studio. That's where I do all my filming at. But I built a really nice big bench in here. But I'm thinking about starting to work on these little 212 4-stroke little motors and start building them and selling them because they're fun to work on. And I don't have to kill myself. I can be standing up on this nice bench and not bent over a car all day. But I'll still do the car stuff because I'm going back to work in about 3 weeks. I'm not looking forward to that. But I try to remind myself I'm lucky. Hey, Morgax, welcome to the live. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to going back. I'm 61, and I'm working part-time, part-year. So I've been off for about 4 months. So I'm going back to work after a 4-month being off. And then I'll go back and I'll work through this finished raining here. It still gets cold in Australia. Yeah. Hey, Morgax, I was just telling these guys, I'm thinking about starting to work on these little 212 Predator motors and start building them, beefing them up. They're crazy how much horsepower you put in them little things. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to, about 3 more weeks, I'm going back to work and I'll build police cars. They got a bunch of builds for me to do. And so I'll be busy for the next, so I'll work through the winter. I'll work through all the crappy weather. And then once it gets warm again, I'll be off. I'm trying to work it out so I work during the winter where the cold weather and the rain is happening. And then when it gets springtime, I can be off I can go riding and stuff and do some traveling. Hopefully this year I'm going to get my Harley all rebuilt. And then come springtime, I'm going to ride out to Montana, see my buddy. We'll see. Either way, I'm going. I'll figure out a way to go. I got 2 bikes. I just got another bike. So if I don't it's just all the money thing. I want to take I'm going to have this guy named Dragon Man. He lives out in Colorado. He does nothing but Harley stuff. And I can rebuild the Harley motor, but he can build it for cheaper than what I can buy the parts for. So, and he does good quality work. So I'm going to let him do it. He lives in Colorado Springs. So I was thinking about what I'll do. I got that 84 first year at Evo. And I was thinking about just, I know I don't like putting a trailer on a bike, but I was thinking about getting a little trailer and just trailer my motor and tranny on the back of there out to Colorado Springs, drop it off, and then go piss around for a couple months on the bike. Now here in my state, rainy season. Yeah, it's just starting to rain here. We usually get rain about Halloween, and then it'll rain until we'll get rain every month. Well, it depends, Our wettest month here is usually like February, March. January is our coldest month, and then February is our wettest. And then it'll rain but we have real dry summers. So come June, around the 1st of June, it'll stop raining. And it won't rain all summer until September. So June, July, August, September, October is all dry. So it's a good time to be out riding. So I'm trying to work my work schedule that way. I worked at this place for 25 years and I retired. And then my wife passed, so I went back to work. And so I've been working back 3 seasons. It's going to start getting hot here. Hey, Maggie, what's hot to you guys? Like in the summer, what's a really hot day there? Because here where I live, it'll get 114 in the summertime. It's a pretty hot part of the state. You know, it's not uncommon for it to get, I mean, normally we'll get a lot of over 100-degree days, but we'll get about a 2 week spell where it'll be like 110, 112. So what's that? 45 degrees Celsius is what? Ask my buddy Bob. I called ChatGPT Bob. I named him Bob. You can ask him anything. Hey Bob, convert 45 degrees Celsius. There you go. Here I did. 110. Hottest more. Honestly, I've seen in Dallas, almost 110. So this little, where I live at right here, the record is 121 or something like that. They had a crazy summer where they had like a 121-degree day. But here we get 110 degrees, very common in the summer. It's very common. We had like 100 days over 100 last summer. So it does get hot. We had a very cool summer this year. We normally get a lot of really hot weather, but this summer it was a nice, cool weather. I mean, cool summer for sure. About 115 some days. Yeah, that's hot, man, for sure. It gets, like I said, we get hot here like that, but not a lot. You know, we get some 100-degree days. How many children you have? I have two children. I have two daughters, and let's see, my one daughter is, because I'm 61, my one daughter is 41, and my other daughter is like 35 or 6. So I got two daughters, adult daughters, and then I have 6 grandkids. I had my first kid when I was, not my first kid, child, I should say, not kid. I had my first child when I was 19. Me and my wife, we got together when I was 18. I was married 39 years. But I went back to work because of that. You know, I lost my income. So I was retired for 5 years. And then I had to figure it out. I was like, man, my bank account was going, and I was like, man, I got to do something pretty soon. I won't be able to keep the bills paid. So I went back to the place. What's funny, you never know what life's going to bring you, man. I left this place as the boss. So I was a fleet manager. I was a manager over about 9 mechanics and, you know, about 2,000 pieces of equipment. And when I went back, the guys that I used to manage they're my boss now. So I went from being the boss to being out there in the shop wrenching, which is fine. They're good to me, you know. They take good care of me. We have no issues or nothing, you know. So they're cool. And I don't want to manage again. It's like herding cats, man. I can't do it, especially with this new generation. You can't get them moving, man. I'd be in HR every time I turn around. Was built in Italian. It's 70 years old. Big thick walls. Stays cool inside all day. Really? My house is getting there. My house was built in like 49, but it's built like a ship, man. It was built well. It's all out of rough cut lumber, so the walls are actually a full 4 inches wide. They're not like a 2x4s now. I had a guy do some work up in the attic. They had him put the AC stuff up in my attic. And they were concerned about doing that. They said, we got to make sure it's structurally available to hold that. And he got up in my attic and he goes, man, this house is built like a ship. He goes, they don't build houses like this anymore. So it's an old house, but man, it's a good house. You know, I've had people tell me, oh, this is an old house. I said, yeah, but you know what? This is a solid house, man. You know, it's solid. It's going on 80 years old. And I had to upgrade the plumbing a little bit, you know, because the plumbing got old. We put a new AC unit in, and we updated the windows and stuff. But that block wall, what a difference that makes in the summer, huh? They do that in Arizona. They do a lot of block wall and houses underneath the ground because it gets so hot there. But yeah, it makes my houses are they're stuccoed on the inside. So the walls are like you put your hand on the wall, they're cold. And it's nice in the summer. But in the wintertime, it's kind of cold in here. It takes a lot to keep the heat in. In the older houses, there's no insulation between so when you got the outside, what they call a shiplap siding, and then you got a 2x4, and then you got the wall on the inside, there's nothing in there. There's no insulation. And the only way you can get insulation in those walls, they pump in foam. It's kind of expensive. Then it makes the house look like crap because they got to drill these holes through the siding, and then they pump the foam in. So I just pay the extra. Man, my PG&E's been crazy lately. PG&E in the United States and California. What bikes you got? I just picked up a Dyna last week. It's my first bike. Hey, Tyler, welcome to live. Sorry, I didn't see you come in. I got a 91 Electroglide that I've had forever. I'm looking tired. Yeah, I probably am tired. I haven't slept much. So Tyler, I have a 91 Electroglide, and I'm really proud of this bike I just bought. It's a 1984 first year Evolution, first generation Evolution. It's an FLHT, very rare, hard to find them. And I got it for a song and a dance. It's 100% stock, and I'm gonna put new tires on this thing. It's chain drive, like the first year Evolutions were chain drive. If you didn't know that, and they got a big rubber boot around them. So I'm gonna ride that thing this year. That's gonna be my riding bike. I was just telling these guys I'm gonna take the motor and tranny out of that Electroglide. It has 115,000 miles on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and have it rebuilt. I could rebuild it, but I found a guy in Colorado Springs, Colorado, I think, and he does all that kind of work. So I'm going to let him do it because I don't have the time, and he can rebuild it for what it cost me to buy the part. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm thinking about taking my other bike, probably springtime. If I figure out a way to do it, I'm going to take the motor and trans out to him now and let him do it during the winter. So when spring rolls around, I can get the bike going. But anyway, I've had that. Laura Loind. Laura, welcome to the live. I seen you there. Fred Durst. Looks tired these days. Who's Fred Durst? Awesome, man. You can find a stock Evo bike is a big deal. It'll be a fun one. Yeah, I look for those Evos. A lot of the prices have gone way down on them. And I'll tell you, give you some advice from an old timer. Any of those Evos that you see that's from 84 through 2000 that are under $3,000, buy them. They're going to be worth 10 grand in 5 years. It's just a matter. The Evos are going to be crazy expensive. It's just a matter of time. Seen what happened with the knuckleheads. Seen it happen to the shovel heads. And then Evo is going to be the next one that you won't be able to touch them for 10 or 15,000. They're going to be crazy expensive because they're so dependable. They're the most dependable motor that Harley Davidson ever built. 88 Heritage Softail, he still rides it today. He's never had a problem with it. No, man. I got that 91 Electroglide, and I'll tell you what, man, I flogged that thing. I'm not baby that thing. I flog it hard. And it's got an Andrews cam in it and an updated carburetor and a Thunder header. But other than that, it's, if you happen to Dynas too, that's why I jumped on one. Yeah, those Dynas are nice little bikes. You know what I like about the Dynas? If you want to build you a little like a bobber, I want to get one just for that. They're really light, and you can get them with the Evo in them. So, and that's a lot of motor for that little thing. You can't get a Harley for under 15 here. Maybe a Sportster. Really, Maggot? They're that much? I wonder what it costs to take one over there. Because I got resources to get a hold of them old Harleys, man. 15 grand. Is that right? That's crazy. I wonder what it costs to bring 4 or 5 of them over there, like in a shipping container. I knew a guy used to do that. He used to buy Harleys, really nice, clean ones. And then, because I had a friend, this guy bought his bike, and that's what he was doing with it. He was going to take it and resell it overseas. The evolutions, man. I'm not that Dyna though. I went and rode a Dyna, and I'm kind of long legged. It was kind of short for me, but man, I've seen them turned in, like tear them down and turn them into like a little bobber. They're a nice little bike. They rip because they're light. Take all the crap off of them that don't need to be on there. Lighten them up and punch. Put some little bit of put a little bit into that Evo motor, and those things will scream. Really, in India, the Harleys are very expensive. I wonder why they're so expensive. Because you know what? I shouldn't tell myself, but that FLHT, that thing is freaking amazing. It's got perfect paint on it. It's got perfect chrome on it. There is nothing wrong with the bike. It's 100%. It looks like you walked back into the 80s and took it off the showroom floor. I paid $2,650 for that bike. And I think it'll be worth 10 grand someday. That's actually what I'm doing. You got that 103 from the touring chassis bikes at the time. Oh, you're gonna do that? You're gonna put a 103 in it? I'm kind of a butt when it comes to. I like the old non-computer controlled stuff. I hate the computer controlled stuff. I don't mind them. I'm not a real fan of the twin cam either. You just can't beat that Evo. But those 100 cubic inch motors will stomp on that Evo. You can punch out an Evo pretty good, but you got to get if you're gonna put some power in the Evo, you got to get like a 98 or a 9. A 98 is the best one. Because if you pump up a early Evo, it'll pull the head bolts right out of the head. It'll pull them right out. It'll push the head right off the bike. There's not enough thread in the block. But those 98s, they'll hold together. That's what I was told. They said if you're gonna I always wanted to build a really hopped up Evo and give these guys on these twin cams a run for their money. Because that motor is bulletproof, man. If you did some head work on an Evo, put a nice cam in it, put some good, nice flowing exhaust on it. They'll run. That one I have now, I've raced it a couple times against some guys on twin cams. They barely get me, but they do. My Dyna only has 25 mile on it, but from the Harley dealer, they only paid 10 grand. Yeah, the prices on the bikes have went way down. I see them all the time. I see 08s, 9, 10, 12s for under 5,000. Hey, Craft Organics. Nice to see you live. Yeah, I'm still live. I thought I'd pop in here. I'm getting where I like hanging out with you guys in the morning, get my day started. Oh, Maggot, he always shows up and says hi to me. He's always willing to lend an ear. I was telling these guys I think I'm going to do a brake job today on my F-250 if it doesn't rain. It's supposed to rain. If it starts raining, I'm done. I don't like working in the rain. I'm a wussy when it comes to weather. I don't like getting wet anymore. And I can't get in the garage right now. I got so much crap in there. I was telling these guys, man, I'm pushing these lights. Well, I'm not pushing them. I just think they're a good deal. I just got a good deal from this company because they offered to us at a good deal because we're part of Amazon affiliates. These are crazy LED lights, all aluminum housing, stainless steel hardware, and they're 48,000 looms, crazy bright. But they're pushing their product because they're trying to get a footnote in the market. So you get 4 of these. So here's 2 of them side by side, and you can stack them or separate them. But you get 4 of these modules for $42. It's a good deal, and I've messed with them, and they seem like a really good quality product. They're all aluminum, really well sealed. But anyway, we're gonna put these on the mini bike project. Hey, Clutch and Stick, welcome to the live. I was just telling these guys I'm getting where I like to come hang out with you guys in the morning for an hour or so. These are going to go on our mini bike project. I don't know if I'm going to do one or I'm going to stack two side by side. I got room to put two, but man, these things are so bright. I don't know if I need to. I might just do one. I don't know. We'll see. They're crazy bright though. But you guys are interested, there's a link like right there. And then there's a link in the description. Just if it doesn't click, just copy and paste it. We make a little bit on it. We actually do pretty good on these. They give us a 15% on these. With all our other stuff, we only get like 5. Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a memory. That's great. Those are good lyrics. Here comes the rain again. Yeah. Watch out, a buddy's full coil packs later today. Those look nice. Those are bright. I got one on my daughter's go-kart for a headlight. Yeah, they're crazy bright, man. I was surprised at the price because these are $40 you get. So they're like $10 a module. I mean, that's like prices of something you buy at like Harbor Freight. $10 a module. And these are good quality. I've done a lot of lighting on patrol cars and stuff. So I know what I'm looking at. They got real nice cooling fins on the back all the way around. And full stainless hardware, pretty decent. I might buy another set just for me before the prices go up, because I know they're going to triple in price. Once they get a foot in the market, and that's what they're doing, they're releasing these because they're new to the market, so they're trying to promote their product. So we're getting them at a killer deal right now for $42 for 4 of them. Matter of fact, I'm going to talk to my boss and tell him, man, we need to buy some of those because they're good. We'll see how they hold up, though. That's the only thing I don't know about. Be nice to get them on like a little razor or something and run them hard. Everything since May. Yeah, not that wobbly junk plastic. No, it's not. It's solid. And you know what? It's got a nice setup. You see how they set up the hardware? Let me see if you guys can see that. Look how they set up the hardware on the back. It's like the T-rails that we do at work. So this slides within the rail. And these, the way they're contoured, you can adjust the light like this, up and down. So instead of just having your light, a lot of light bars, you put them on, they're just wherever they're at. Well, these, you can actually rotate them up and down. And they're designed, here's their big claim to fame, is they have 2, so they have the center row is for a spot. And then the other 2 rows are set this way, so you get some like flood effect. That's the problem we had with the we put some LED spotlights on our cop cars, and the cops complained because they didn't get any kind of light outside the circle. So when they're moving that light, say somebody's running, they're trying to stay on with that light. As soon as they move outside that circle, they can't see them. There's no effect, flood effect. So we had to change them to like a flood instead of a spot. With the rubber bushings that has a hole in it for mounting stuff. They were great. Oh yeah. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of 4-wheel drive stuff, but I'm probably going to do that more now that I'm retired. I just didn't like a bunch of guys I worked with, they all go 4-wheeling for the weekend, and they'd go up and, they'd go up way up in the mountains in the mud and the snow, and they'd break crap. They'd be underneath there working on it, and come back and talk about, oh, I broke an axle. And I'm like, I don't want to go do that stuff. I do that all week, man. I don't want to go lay in the mud if I don't have to. They're for round tubing. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. I got to get me a little 4-wheel drive. I'm not sure what I want to get. What I want is, so around here in the wintertime, once it starts raining and getting cold and snowing and stuff, you can't get up in the hills with a 2-wheel drive. So I'm thinking, I thought about getting an older Jeep because I'm thinking just get something that's got a stock, like little 4-banger in it, straight 4-banger, all stock, like a CJ5, like an older one, like a 50s or 40s. Old Indian Scouts here are 40,000. You got to be kidding me, maggot. I got to look in to see what it costs to ship that stuff over there, man. Maybe I come visit you, bring 2 or 3 Harleys. I like a good hardy enduro to play around, cheap maintenance. Enduro, you mean like a little dirt bike? Do you remember those Honda Fat Tracks? I always liked those Fat Tracks. I thought they'd be cool. My uncle used to have one, and he used to go. Well, actually, my wife's uncle. He used to have a Fat Track, and he used to do a lot of gold panning. And man, he'd take that thing places that no one else could get it. I want to make a cross, Katie though, cross cart. What's a cross cart? Like a. I was just talking to these guys. I'm getting into these little 112 Predator motors. Kind of impressed me in a little way. I know they're just little cheapo little motors, but man, they're cheap to work on. You can really build one of those things for like. You can buy a brand new. You can buy a brand new one for like $120, and then you rip into it, and for like $300 in aftermarket parts, you can put a nice carburetor on, exhaust, put a nice camshaft in it, and you can get 28 horsepower out of these little 6 horses. A cross cart. What is a cross cart? Like a racing cart, like for go-kart racing. What is that? A cross cart? Big boy like a WR500. Oh, it's about the only racing a guy can afford to do anymore. Went down the rabbit hole today about that kart racing, and it looks like a blast, especially when they got them on like dirt tracks. So I got this little Blitz mini bike, and I'm gonna fix it up for a 10-year-old kid. So I'm tearing it all down. I'm gonna paint it, put flames on it, and I'm gonna put a fake little peanut tank on it to make it look like a little Harley. And then, but it had a 212 on it, and it's been pumped up a little bit. And that little mini bike will go like 60 miles an hour. So I was like, I can't leave that motor on there. Let's see. It's like a big ass go-kart with suspension for rally bugging. A lot of people stick their Predator 670s and beef them up to 50 or 70 foot-pound torque. Really, I didn't even know they made a Predator 670. These Predators are 212s. What about those junkers that riding motors? I know those riding motors look like a blast, man. New Age Odyssey, but bigger and better. Oh, really? Like an Odyssey then? Oh, I see what you're talking about. It's like a fully encaged little cart. Just a downsize from like a Razor. But geez, with a 50 horse motor in that thing would fly. What's it cost to get like a frame for one of those? Do you know? If you built your own, like, can you get just a frame for a cross cart? That's interesting to me. I've been wanting to build something for myself to go goof around on. I don't like riding dirt bikes anymore. Every time I ever hurt myself, it was on a dirt bike. I'm getting too old for dirt bike riding. Kind of like a New Age Odyssey, huh? Those little Honda Odysseys were pretty cool, though. Those Razors are crazy, man. The Polarises, those little side-by-sides. I went to work for a guy for a day on those, and then I didn't like the situation, so I didn't work for him. But guy slapped a small block in a mower with a wheelie bar at the drag strip here. Also seen guys build go-karts for the strip. Really, I couldn't imagine a small block in one of those. That's crazy. I thought about taking a Volkswagen and putting a Harley motor in it. I thought that'd be cool. Fully built 212 with a full Forza billet build. Craft Organics, you do? That's cool. I'm wanting to get into that. I'm thinking I'm gonna start maybe doing those, like getting them and tearing them down, and do the whole, take them to stage 3 or 4 with a billet flywheel and a billet case and stuff. You good at crashing, huh, Maggot? That's my problem. I can't stay off the throttle, man. Those little dirt bikes, they'll get you up in the air 30, 40 feet. Build. Now, hey, Craft Organics, that I'll probably say it wrong because I've been reading about them. The Tillotson 212, is that the Predator? Or is that different? About 3,000, 1,200 to build if you have the tools. Yeah, I'm thinking I got a lot of time on my hands, certain times of the year, and I'm thinking maybe I'll start building these things and selling them. Get the stuff and do the, put the bigger valves in them, and cut the seats and, just build them, and then Moto X crashing was part of my career. Yeah, I know you feel that stuff now, though, huh? That's me. I'm starting to feel all that stuff I did when I was, between the ages of 12 and 16, starting to feel all those injuries. Like, man, what is that? Wow, what is that? I'd like to get my grandsons into some kind of motorsports. They live a long ways away, but I just like to get these kids involved. It's just we're losing all that, man. Kids nowadays don't know nothing about cars, man. I wouldn't either, man. I'd probably take one out for a little spin, but hey, I'm the man. How you doing? Welcome to live. We're just sitting here chatting. There's a few of us here that come and they show up almost all the time. Hey, just so you guys know, I appreciate you guys showing up when you see the lives going. I'm getting to the point where I like to hanging out with you guys for a little bit every day. Go hang out with the bros. Talk some gearhead stuff. Stage 5 methanol, really. I'm just thinking maybe there might be a market for these little motors. And what's nice is, you don't have to kill yourself working on them. I can pick this thing up with one hand, And I think you could build these if you found a market for it, because a lot of these kids run these in those kart races. You could probably build these and have them sitting on the shelf and sell them. I'm sure you could go on a diet bike. I'm the man. Gas power RC cars, 8 scale with 2-speed gearbox for the kids. Yeah, he'd probably get into that. Probably. It's more of a name brand, strictly for racing. Okay, because I've heard people talk about them. These here, I just think about. I'm sure they're not bulletproof like those other ones are, because they're not that much money. All Honda 200 clones. Okay, yeah, I get it. I know what you're talking about. I'm in dirt bike. Yeah. These here, I'm just thinking these here are something that people could afford to build, for $125 for the motor and $300 worth of parts. Your $450 buy a little mini bike frame that's decent shape for $500. You can have a nice little project. Yep, that's what I heard. 18 valve springs are very common for building 212s. That's what I heard. I'm doing a little bit of learning on it. I think I'm going to get like a stage 3 kit and just do it on a live, because I built a lot of motors over the years. I just never been in these little ones, and I'm thinking, for teaching somebody, I think these are great, because it's got everything in it that you need to teach mechanics. It's got a camshaft, crankshaft, carburetor. You can pull the heads off. It's a push rod motor, so you can teach somebody how to do that stuff. I buy my grandson a bike every year. Started with little electric ones. Now they're got petrol. But that's where my grandson is now. He's been on those little electrics, and I've been telling my daughter, he's ready for something that makes noise, man. Get him something you can smell the gas and oil. Yeah. So I'm thinking I'm going to look around. I know you can get like a flywheel that's not billet, but you can get like a heavy duty flywheel if you don't go too crazy. And then just get a heavy duty cover that goes over the flywheel area so you don't tear your leg off. It blows apart. Take this governor out and maybe do something with the head just to play around with them. Why not? Thing is, I can do them right here on the bench in the studio. I don't have to be out there crawling around in the gravel. People doing drag builds out of these, getting 10 seconds and a quarter mile. It's nuts. That's something I'd be into, man. I was just telling these guys today, I wonder what you could do if you doubled one of these up and put two of them side by side, chained them together. Homicide. What's up, brother? Welcome to the live. There's a bunch of gearheads hanging out here talking about silly things. I had a little time this morning. I thought I'd do a live real quick. And we were pushing these lights, these LED lights. Hey man, if you guys need some lights, go check these out. I'm not kidding you. They're a good deal. He's 3, but he has a hard enough time getting around on his 2 feet, not hurting himself. Getting in his first mini bike. No, 3's a little young. Getting one of those little electric, Hot Wheel things, man. That's how you get started on that. Drag building. Ain't nothing better. Yeah, for sure. We talk a lot of car stuff here. We get off subject once in a while. Usually when I do these early lives, it's just kind of a bullshit session. But when I do the lives, like on Friday nights, if you come on Friday nights, we do automotive trivia. I've been a mechanic for 40 years, just so you know. And we do automotive trivia. And then when you get a question right, you get to spin the wheel. And then... yeah, you spin the wheel, and then if you win at the end, we do a random drawing. And last week we gave away one of these chargers. I got to get that in the mail today, by the way. And then next week we're giving away a Snap-on wrench. Don't have the right tools. Would be best. The hardest part is play setting valve lash with your timing. Okay. Do you hunt? I'm the man. I don't hunt. I'm not a hunter. My dad and my brother used to hunt a lot, and when they would go hunting, I'd take my fishing stuff with me. They'd go run around hunting, and I'd go fish the creeks. If you don't have the right tools, yeah. It doesn't look like there's a lot of money. Yeah, that's what I seen. You can get a bill at Racing Flywheels. Takes a little weight off the wheel, and where you can tack up a little faster. You know, the guy I'm taking my Harley to, he's set up so he can set your flywheel up and take like 4 pounds off the flywheel, where they'll rev up faster. When you snap the throttle, they'll rev up faster. It just takes it takes some of that inertia out too, so you don't get that good decel. So you got to think about that. When you take that weight off that flywheel, you lose a little deceleration. I'm gonna play around with these things. I'm gonna do a live on this one because I'm gonna not put this back in the mini bike because it's got too much power. It's too power. I got on it on that mini bike when I first got it. It'll pull the front wheel right off the ground, and you can see where somebody had drag bars on it. So I think I'm going to just get a cheap little 3-horse to put back in the mini bike because I'm giving it to like a 10 or 12-year-old kid, and I don't want to give him too much where he can hurt himself on it. So I'm going to take this motor and I'm going to punch it out, and I'm going to give me a little go-kart frame and put it on. I think that was Ferrari seeing up either way. They gave birth to sports cars. Yeah. And little torque monsters like electric. Yeah. I'll bet, man. Let me see. I'm gonna miss them. Yeah, the thing is now it's getting to the point to where how do you get people involved in the racing or building little projects when it costs so much? You know, I can remember when you could build a small block Chevy for like $500. You know. Yeah, Craft Organics, we do like automotive trivia. And I do like really easy questions. So when people are coming in, if they don't have a lot of automotive experience, they can still answer the questions. And then I do really hard ones, you know, more computer controlled stuff and, you know, more harder questions, you know, more advanced questions. And then at the end, everybody that got a question right gets a spot on the wheel, and then we spin. And then this week, I don't know if I put that wrench. Probably put it. I got it. You gotta look around. I'm gonna set it down somewhere. I got a Snap-on wrench we're giving away on Friday. So Friday we'll give away a Snap-on wrench. And then we ship it within the United States. So if you're within the US, we ship it free. I got to figure out Maggot. He lives halfway across the world. He wants some artwork. Got to figure that out. That's how the super chat, or I don't even know what they're called. Super chat, something. It's a thing up there. You can give me a little thing that gives me like $5, and we kind of use those to buy. We buy tools to give away on the live. New firearm Billy get you a cam. Can barely get one hand for that if you want the good stuff. Yeah, I know. It's hard to build anything. I was thinking about doing a series on my 71 Chevy pickup and just show some, because the small block is the best motor to teach somebody on that has no experience. And I was thinking about, because the motor that's in the Chevy right now, it's 100% stock. It still has the point ignition, the original intake manifold on it. And I was thinking, you know what? This would be a good little, I can get a kit with a camshaft, a carburetor, and maybe some upgraded valve covers, and just show people step by step how to pull the carburetor off, the intake, put a different intake, put a HEI ignition in it, and just upgrade it. I'm looking at 06. I already have one, but it'll keep me busy for a while. Yeah, it's getting where it's just, I guess I'm old now because everything seems so expensive to me. This IDI I bought, that 92 F250, the going price on those things, if they got decent paint and decent interior, is 15 grand. I was like, 15,000 for a 92 Ford pickup? I'm the man, yeah. Welcome to the live. I'm the man. If you were already in here. Oh, you were already in here. I missed that. You just responded. Definitely, my dad had an 88 with a 350 truck. Taught me everything I know now. Yeah, that's the small blocks. I don't think you can go wrong. I mean, if you got a young son, you're trying to teach him if you want to teach him mechanics, the small block Chevy is the best way to go. I learned on a little straight six 235. That's how I learned how to wrench my first truck. You can create a little market for anything with something you need, something as simple as a single butt connector to a double soldering and clean wiring, quick connect. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed that. I get to chatting and then I forget. I didn't really do it. It looks like I'm in focus pretty well. I forgot to focus the camera this morning. That's a thing on these cameras. You gotta. I don't put this one on autofocus because it hunts for some reason. It's kind of got a weird thing about it. So I put it on manual, and I always got to remember to focus it when I get started, because if not, you'll be out of focus. You don't even notice it. Yeah. But I'm thinking I'm gonna mess around with these little motors. I mean, even just to build a couple of them, be kind of fun. I'm gonna do one on a live stream. Just get it to this point like it is right now, and just tear it all the way down, show people how to do it, and build one. It'd be kind of fun. I think it'd be fun. Maybe shoot a video about it. They're kind of popular. You get on YouTube, man. There's all kinds of stuff about them on YouTube. Matter of fact, man, if you guys went and watched our video, I appreciate it, because the video is doing great. If you guys get a chance, if you have time or you think it's worth doing, go leave a comment. It's about vice grips. It's pretty basic. It's crazy because it was like a crazy basic little video I did on vice grips, and then I tried to be funny on this one a little bit. I relaunched it. So we launched it like a year ago, and we got 280,000 views. Face tracking cameras that follow your face. Yeah, actually, this one will do that. It will follow. It'll track but for some, this is a decent camera, but I wish I'd have got one with interchangeable lenses on it, because it's more like for a vlogging camera. So if you want to get a real tight shot of something, it's kind of tough. So it really wasn't the best camera. It's hard to get the perfect camera. You need like 3 different ones. Looking at that DJI Pocket for doing like blog style stuff. It does really good imaging and has a good It's got good image stabilization. She can run with it. It looks nice and smooth. This one will track my eye. Like you can do eye tracking on it. And but the problem, these Sony ZV-1Fs, they got a problem with their hunting when they're trying to focus. You'll see them going in and out of focus. So it's annoying when you're doing like something like this, because it keeps doing that and it looks like it's in focus then out of focus. So I think when I put it on manual, it does a good job. But if you're moving around with the camera, you need to have it on autofocus. So I think I'm going to have to upgrade to a different camera. It's just cost so dang much for the cameras anymore. This one right here was a cheaper model. It does good quality. It'll do 4K. It'll do good video at 4K. But you know, I only paid, it was $550 for the whole thing. It got the, you know, you get the camera and you get the memory card, and then it has a nice little control thing that you can zoom in and out and take pictures. It's a remote control for it. And then I bought a real nice ball head and a good mic. So I'm like, you know, I'm like $700-800 into this camera. You think Mustang here is big money? Really? Gosh, Maggie, we got to get together and put a bunch of parts in a shipping container. Come hang out with you for the summer and just make a pile of money. I wish and pray all you would have. I don't know about you guys, man, but this is something that I don't like dealing with. I hate it when people come in and want to talk religion in my lives. It drives me nuts. I don't know why people think it's okay to do that. We don't have any car companies anymore. GM and Ford went broke there, really. So what do you guys do for vehicles now? I mean, if there's no car companies there, everything's being imported. I guess so, huh? Yeah, the Osmo. I know. I tried to get it for my birthday. Didn't happen. Your video is acceptable. Audio is the most important. Hey, Clutch and Stick, how is the audio? Because I got a little I got a DT mini mic on there, but it's a ways from me. I can bring it closer. How is the audio? Is it good or bad? It's good? Okay. Yeah. Because I do have an external mic on there, but it's mounted on the top of the camera. And it's about an arm's length away from me. All right, I'm the man. Hey, have a good day. Thanks for stopping by for the live. Appreciate you stopping in. Come hang out with us on Friday night. We're going to give away some tools. Go check out these lights, man. If you're into lighting, these things are freaking awesome. You too. You do the same. Friday night at 7, we're giving away some tools. Come hang out. I wonder why these people think that you're not going to throw them out when they do that. It's kind of stupid. Really? Yeah. I was surprised the pricing. The used car market's going crazy. Honestly, you know, I think if a guy has this chair gets uncomfortable sometimes. I think if a guy had a little bit of money and you know how to wrench, I think a used car lot's a good idea right now. Because you can pick up stuff cheap that needs like a tranny or something. And man, the prices of used cars are crazy. You know, I've never seen the prices so high, which is good for us. You know, a guy that knows how to fix them. I try to pick stuff up all the time. That's how I picked up that F-250, man. I paid $700 for it. And if I just do a little bit, it just needs to be, the paint needs to be buffed out. It's got one little dent. And I think if I sent the seat out and just had it upholstered, I could probably get 10 or 15 grand for that truck running. I got notified at a weird time. It's 9:08 a.m. here. It's 7:08 here at Craft Organics. Where does this start import Mustangs here? They're really expensive. That's crazy how the things are. I wonder what the cost is though to like import stuff into Australia. I bet there's a big fee when you bring stuff in. But I'm thinking on Harley stuff, Maggot, you might be able to like, what if you're able to like just like send boxes of parts, like high-end parts for the Harleys? I bet you could sell them. Really good deal. It's hard to find a car that runs anywhere for under 2 grand. I used to get running trucks and fixed these for work for all the time, but now those same trucks are posted at like 3,000 to 5,000. Yeah, you're right. I just had a PT Cruiser I picked up. My neighbor gave it to me because she was moving out of the country. And it had been sitting for a long time. So I put a battery in it and it had a fuse that was blown. It was keeping the PCM from working right. So anyway, I got it running and I listed it and man, I sold it in like 3 days. But I only charged, it had 82,000 original miles on it, but I got like almost 3 grand for it. And it sold fast. I was surprised. Yeah, clutch and stick. Yeah. I try to do the same thing. I tell you the best deal. The problem, and I'm going to start looking into it. Yeah, I'm in California, Northern California. I'm going to start looking into it because I've always wanted to learn how to paint. And what I see a lot of times when I'm looking at stuff, it's like if I look for cars that are like newer cars that have like a blown motor or a tranny, because you can pick them up cheap and then just swap out a used motor or tranny or, redo it or whatever. But the paint is the thing that kills you when you do that because no one wants to buy a car that has crappy paint on it. So a lot of times you'll see cars like that and the paint's just, the clear coat's coming off or whatever. So I'm thinking about trying to learn how to paint. I've always wanted to try to do it. And I know I'm not going to be no expert at it because it takes skill to learn something like that, but I'm going to try it. I'm just thinking, where can I get some decent paint that you're not going to spend an arm and a leg while you're trying to learn how to lay down paint, how to spray. Do pinstripes. I was going to get some old Harley half helmets and paint on those. That's a good idea. I looked into that pinstriping. It's pretty cheap to get set up. They just have the brushes are like really long and tapered, but I don't have a steady hand for it anymore. And I've never been like an artist. I can't draw very well. So everything I got to do with like tape and use a razor knife and stuff. It's a decent little car. I picked up 5 bad Cheshire bushing. We hooked up everything. Yeah, those little PT Cruisers, I was a little surprised. When I got it, I was like, and it was dirty and very dirty inside. I spent all day like cleaning it and vacuuming it, and I detailed the inside and I washed and waxed it, and it looked really nice. Well, I drove it around because I want to make sure the check engine light wasn't going to come on, and I want to make sure it wasn't going to overheat or nothing. So I spent a couple of days driving it around. Oh, that's right. I had to get the monitor set so I could get it smogged. It was a decent little car. I was like, man, this is a pretty nice little car. It ran good, kind of peppy, wasn't too bad. But I was thinking, man, this would be a great car for going yard selling in because it had a great storage in the back, and the seats were set up kind of nice. And I think maybe it had a removable third seat. I can't remember. I think the third seat came out. And I was like, man, this would be a nice little car for going to sales, because it's really easy to park. And, it was pretty neat. I liked it. I was thinking a PT Cruiser wouldn't be a bad little second car. Looking like it's chipped up to you, looking like it's brand new, can bring 3,000 or more. Yep, I agree. I've walked away from a lot of cars because of that. They had good potential in them, but you look at the paint and go, nah, you're just going to have a hard time getting rid of it. My wife got me a tattoo gun for Christmas one year, and it's way harder than it looks. Tattoo career lasted about 4 hours. Well, I was thinking, I could just get me some old pickup hoods or something and just do a hood and see if I can figure it out. I drive little trucks on bike. I haven't had a car for years, or my bike. Yeah, they call them. We used to always call them cages. When you ride a bike and you get in a car, it's just a cage. I don't have a car now. Now I think about it, I have 3 pickups, and I got 3 motorcycles, and then I have the only car I have on my lot is a '73 Comet that belonged to my daughter. So I don't have a car either. Mostly all trucks. How to drive motorcycles. I've learned before, but have no license. Some guy, he's Orange County. Hey, look around for those gold wings, man. You can get a smoking deal on them. I see them all the time for like $100,000. I know they were probably not nice like that one, but look around. Those gold wings, man, they've come way down on price. And learn it. They have good little. They got little classes you can take, to learn how to ride. It's like $300-400. And then if you take the class, you don't have to go take the driver's test at the DMV. So it's a pretty good deal. Clutch and stick. Now underneath the line. Yeah, I had a black Nissan 370 Nismo. Man, you talk about a car that was hard to keep clean. You would think black is a tough color, but man, every little speck shows up. I always had to be out there wiping the thing, and I've owned many a vehicle never a white one. You know what I notice about white vehicles though? The white cars clean up nice. Like I bought a Taurus one time, and I went to pick it up, and it was up in the hills where they have a lot of red dirt. And man, this thing was covered in like like an orange dirt. And it looked horrible, but it was white. And I took it home. My wife at the time, she was looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I was like, just hang with me, man. I know what I'm doing." And it had pine needles all over it, and it had a transmission problem. So I bought it dirt cheap, put a tranny in it, and I washed that thing and waxed it. Man, dude, it didn't even look like the same car. I don't remember if I think they do. I think they do offer a motorcycle. And they actually make you teach you how to lay them down, where you got to brake and slide them and lay them down. Yeah, look around. They have motorcycle classes for that. Yeah, there's places that do that. Matter of fact, they also have rental motorcycles if you want to just go take your tests at the DMV. Because the DMV, if you take a big bike, like I took my Harley and tried it, man, it was too tight of a course. I mean, you'd have to be a really, really balanced bike to do it. I took it on my wife's 750 Honda, and that was pretty good. But they got these little like 125s you can rent to go do your test on instead of trying to do it on a big bike. Way easier. Mag, you could only ride a 250 for a year, then big bike license, but they changed it from 250 to 650 now. Oh, really? So they make you ride a smaller bike first. Black 66, Redbeard Garage and Cars and Cameras does performance builds. Yeah, I seen that Redbeard Garage. He does a lot of that 212 stuff. He's got a pretty good little channel. And Cars and Cameras, I think I've seen that one too before. Seems like it. That's kind of a weird. I'm surprised that his channel's doing good because Cars and Cameras just don't mix together. But it seems like his channel's doing okay. Yeah, those little 250 Rebels are nice for people to learn how. Hey, John McCauley, how you doing, brother? We're just sitting here talking about a little bit about motorcycles right now. Yeah, when I was a kid, so my first driver's license when back then when you were 15 and a half, you could get your on your learner's permit, you could ride a motorcycle. So at 15 and a half, I could ride a motorcycle on the street legally. You just couldn't ride at night and you couldn't have a passenger. And so at 15 and a half, you could be out riding around on a motorcycle. So that's what I did. That was my first vehicle. I had a little 350 Enduro, XL 350 Enduro. Nice little bike. Yeah. Yeah, once you get your endorsement, you don't have to redo it. But I'll tell you what you got to watch out for so I added my commercial to my license and they were going to make me do all my tests again. Yeah, I was going to have to do my class C and my motorcycle. And the lady gave me a pass. She's like, I'm not going to make you do that. But if you get sometimes if you change your endorsement, they'll make you do the other ones over. I was like, man, I'd have to read the test and all. I haven't done that in so long. They found out I was a concreter. Now they have a burnout pad. You got to watch what you tell people what you do. You know how many of you guys have done this? People find out I'm a mechanic, like am I at a party or something or over somebody's house? Right away, somebody's like, hey, I got this car and it's doing, I get that. I haven't gotten that for 40 years, man. So I start telling my wife, don't tell everybody I'm a mechanic because I sit here and have to give everybody advice all day long, which I don't mind doing it. I do it here. Cars and Cameras have the Dragster 675, 100 horsepower drag build. Yeah, I think I seen that guy's channel. It's doing pretty good. I'll tell you the YouTube thing, man, everybody thinks it's an easy gig. It's a long game, man. It takes some time to get trouble with that. That's pretty cool. 670 Predator, 100 horsepower drag build. Wow. It don't sound like much, when you say 100 horsepower, but 100 horsepower on something that don't weigh nothing is a lot. Oh, he still got that's cool though. He's 82 and he still got his motorcycle license. Maggot, I know you told me, but are you riding a motorcycle now? What kind of bike you riding? I know you told me, but I got short memory, man. What are you riding? Yep, I learned that a long time ago. So like, I had a 73 Mercury Comet with a factory 302 that I put a camshaft and did some exhaust work and stuff on it. But the car only weighed like 2,500 pounds. I used to smoke people in that car. In Illinois, you have to be 18 to ride above 50. Kawasaki. A Z Kawasaki. How many cc's is that? Oh, you got a Honda Shadow. ATM. Shadows are nice bikes, man. You still got your race bike. Really? That's freaking cool. Didn't you tell me that you had some bikes that you had from when you were a kid? I disagree with the rule that they put you on those little bikes because in my opinion, those little 125s, there's not enough power on them to get out of somebody's way. I think they're kind of dangerous. You know, like when they limit to you to a certain like CC motorcycle starting out, I think it's the worst thing they can do. Because like when I was a kid, I remember we used to run around on mopeds. That was the most dangerous thing you could be on. You'd see somebody coming, you couldn't get out of the way. It was like playing like, you know, whack-a-mole. That should be grandfather interview, personally. I still have a little Shadow. I bought a 07 Shadow 750 C2. Go check out that model, man. It's a cool little bike. It looks like a little cruiser, like a little Harley. Got a nice tank on it. Nice paint job, flame paint job. Looks really nice little bike. So it's been sitting for a while. I need to do some of that bike. It's a 750 Shadow, shaft drive, air cooled. Nice little bike, but it's just been sitting. I need to pull the tank off, go through the carburetor because it's probably all gummed up. In here from Tufy. No power to get out of trouble. Yep, exactly. That's what I said. My son-in-law, he was running around on this little it must have been like a little 125cc little thing for a while. And I told him, you know, that's probably the most dangerous thing you could be on. You know, it's just 750 Ace Shadow. Yeah, the Ace. That's a nice little bike. Yeah, the C2, it's a Spirit. It's a 750 Spirit C2. Got a 20-inch front wheel. Real nice looking little bike, man. Looks like a little Harley. Sits real low. Great first bike for somebody starting out, especially women that aren't very tall. You can sit flat-footed on it. It's a nice little ride. It's a little small for me. I got big, long legs, but man, the thing gets like 75 miles a gallon. Yeah, I'm sure there's a few of them out there, but most of the smaller CC stuff are just really. You sold your Indian for 30, huh? What you had an older Indian though, didn't you? Was it an older one or is it newer? It was like a real early Indian, wasn't it? Man, those Indians are freaking nice. They're beautiful. They're a piece of artwork, in my opinion. And I got a guy, a 42. Yeah, those things bring big bucks, man. Even here, if you can find one. If you can find one, you better bring a big old pile of money to buy it because they want a fortune for them here even. I got a buddy that does fabrication, and he's never sold a bike that he built. Every bike he's ever built, he still has it in his shop. He's probably got 25 bikes in there now. And but he has a bunch of Harleys and a bunch of like Nortons and different things. And he said out of all his bikes, he likes he's got a newer Scout, like a 2000, I don't know what year. It's like maybe like a 2010 or somewhere in there. And he said he'd rather ride that bike than any bike he owns. He goes, it just rides so nice. Yeah, it's hard to beat that Harley thing. And you know what I tell people that have rode the newer bikes, like if you ride a Harley like say 05 or newer, you know, twin cam, M8, whatever, all those, they're different, man. When you get on an Evo, it's like sitting on the barrel of a 50 caliber machine gun, man. When you throttle that thing up, you feel it in your bones. It's different than those other motors. They're just different altogether. I just love them. I think they're my favorite motor. And if I had the money and I could build whatever I want, I'd build me a really nice panhead. I'd get me an older panhead, and then I'd upgrade the motor a little bit to get rid of the oiling issues they had. because they have some upgraded panhead motors now that are really good motors. But man, that panhead to me is probably one of the most beautiful motors that Harley ever built. Just a work of art. Yep. Yeah, that's not bad. That's what I started on, a little 350 Enduro. Man, you know the bike that I had, I wish I had hung on to. Man, it was a nice little bike. I had a 73 Honda CL350 twin. Man, that was a nice little bike. It was a nice bike. I've seen them up for sale, all original. Man, they get top dollar for them now. I mean, you see a scrambler, it's all in mint condition. They're getting like $5,000 for it. Those Evos are the best selling horns out there, I think. Yeah, I think so. The shovels have a pretty decent sound, and they all have their little different sound to them. But the Evo, if you put some straight pipes on that thing and put a camshaft in it, and you can lope it down to like, mine will idle at like 600 RPM, man. Just bump, 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 bump. And it just sounds nice. My dad has a 1440 Indian with an S&R block. Really. I've never rode an Indian. I need to go ride one. I probably shouldn't, then I'm going to want one. I miss you, Maggie. Said 76 Tramp. What frame? Said friends on the other side of Austria. I go there every year for 2 weeks. Oh, really? A 76 Tramp. My uncle was really into Tramps. When he'd build a chopper, it was usually a Tramp. They were really popular here in the U.S. and like in the late 70s. A lot of Triumph guys around. He used to love them. He used to build all kinds of Tramps. You don't see too many now. They're out there, but you don't see them like you used to. Not like in the 70s and 80s, you'd see a lot of Tramps in like the used bike market. Your first road bike was an RD250. That's a Suzuki, right? I had a Suzuki, I think it was a RD370. Somebody stole it. Freaking pissed me off. Somebody stole it out of my backyard. Yeah, we were talking about that the other night. The guy was asking about, what I thought for a first bike, without spending a ton of money. And I said, get they're called an XLCH. All right. You guys still there? These guys hung up on you. I gotta get me hey, somebody comment so I know if you guys still see me or hear me. It shows that everybody's still in the live, so we'll see. Yeah, really. Oh, good. I'm glad it doesn't disconnect. So what happens? I got a thing coming, man. So this camera, let's see, how long have we been on? So I kind of know how long it's. So we've been on it. Dang, we're almost 2 hours. I said I was going to devote an hour to this today. You guys are bad influence on me, man. This camera will last about an hour and a half, the battery. And so it goes dead, and I got to change the battery packs.
But I got a thing coming. My girl just bought it for me because she said, "How come you haven't ordered that yet?" And I'm like, "I don't know." So it's a dummy battery that goes in there with a DC adapter where I can where it doesn't won't go dead on us. Yeah, you know how you guys would hate to not be able to see my ugly mug. Yeah, she hit me. She was a little. She wasn't mad at me, but I've been uh I've been devoting a lot of time to the YouTube thing lately because I'm going to go back to work and Amazon Prime was going. So you got to get while the getting's good with that. And we didn't do that great with the Amazon thing. I'm just trying to make the YouTube channel like, I want to hopefully, like right now when I work, because I have a retirement, And so right now when I work, I can make, it depends on how many hours I want to work, but I'll make a couple grand a month when I'm working part time. So if I could just get to where I can make $1,000 a month with my YouTube stuff, which that's a lot of money on YouTube. It takes a lot to do that. Um, you know, I could not stop working part time. Just be nice to work from here at home. Quit. I'm 61. I don't want to be wrenching when I'm 80. Be nice to get some kind of gig going on. Um, and the YouTube thing, it's not a pipe dream, but it takes a lot. You have to put in a lot of effort. I mean, it takes a couple of years to get a channel to really pop off. Some people do it; they get lucky, but just do break jobs. Yeah, yeah, I've heard that before. My girlfriend said it's either me or the bike. Boy, I'm gonna miss her. I always thought that's funny. No, my girl's pretty good about that stuff. It's just lately I've been kind of, I don't know. I can When I get focused on something, man, I can be kind of an ass sometimes. Not that I was mean to her. I was just, I have a lot of chronic back pain, so that's part of it. Is that my pain makes me kind of like a shithead sometimes. But it is what it is. I've done so many much type of work. I just don't want to work part time and then do. I don't know. Just like I'd like to teach. I think more than anything. You got one in the bedroom. My uncle used to do that, man. He used to ride his Harley in the house. He'd bring it in the living room and park it. And he'd come home off leave. He's in the Navy. And he'd come visit my mom. He'd park his Harley right in the living room. Ride it through the door. Brah, brah, brah. Bring it right in the living room. My wife's here in the house. My wife got jealous when I got my bike. Says I owe her one for Christmas. Yeah, I ended up having to buy my wife one. You know what, though? Let me give you some advice, man. I told her when she asked me about her, I said, I'm going to not tell you, I'm never going to tell you not to do something that you want to do. And I'm not going to stop you from getting your own bike because I know what it's like to have my own bike and be able to ride and feel that feeling. But I told her, I said, you're not leaving the cul-de-sac until you can ride that bike without looking down. I made her do 300 miles and here to the stop sign. Made her do turns, slow driving, and all that. And she was a really accomplished rider at the end. She could outride me. But the thing is, when we go on rides, I always was worried. I was always, when we go on rides, I was constantly thinking, man, where's she at? Or, I worried too much about her getting in an accident. So the whole time I'm riding, I'm looking in my mirrors, wondering where she's at, if she's okay. So after a while, she had a little problem on her bike, and she says, you know what? I think I'm just gonna. And then we sold my 1100 Arrow, and we got the Harley. And when we got the Harley, she said, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna ride anymore. And I was glad when she said that because I was like, good, because I was afraid she was gonna get ran over. I was really worried that she'd get hit on that motorcycle. Pain is my mistress and she never leaves. Yeah, for sure. Hang on a second, man. I got to go. I got the my Alexa thing's ringing in the other room. Give me 5 minutes. Be right back. Or actually, like 20 seconds. Coffee too. I'm back. I'll tell you another little thing for the classic black Norton with gold pinstripes. Lark displacement motor. Can't find it. Black Norton. I don't know nothing about that, but I know somebody I knew built a Norton. He had a really nice one. He was an instructor at the college I went to. Taking out the middle. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. She ran a stop sign one time, and I pulled over and I chewed her ass. I said, "Hey, you just ran a stop sign." Or she goes, "What?" I go, "You just blew right through a stop sign." I said, "You're lucky somebody wouldn't come and they would have taken you out." I said, "You got to pay attention, man. You can't be screwing. When you're on one of these things, you better be paying close attention. You'll lose your life." So, yeah, that worried me. I was glad when she decided to get off that thing, just be on my bike, because then I didn't have to worry about her. I just worry about me and her together, and not have to worry about where she was at. Sure. Some other little job thing I've been working on a little bit. I bought this like pretty heavy duty trailer, and I put a winch and stuff on it. And there's no one in this area that does trailer work. And I'm thinking about offering trailer services where I go out and can pull the trailer up on my trailer and put some airbags on it where I can just lift the trailer right up on the trailer and do the wheel packs right in place. Because there's no one around here that does, even the shops, there's no one that does, they'll do them, but you're 2-3 weeks out. And they do a lot of bass tournaments and stuff here. So I'm thinking that might be a good little gig. Easy work too. Just lift up the wheels, pull the wheels, knock the wheel seals out, do the wheel bearing pack, charge them $200. I think you could knock 2 or 3 of those out in a day, man. Easy. It wouldn't take much tools either. I'm thinking I already had a plan to do that. And then I got busy working part-time. Then I got these other projects going. So my trailer kind of went on the back burner, but it's all set up. I got the winch on there and it's all ready to go. Older trailer, big, heavy duty sucker, man. I don't know if you guys ever mess with those Harbor Freight, Badlands winches. Man, they're pretty good quality. I was surprised, man. That winch that I got on my trailer, it's quite the winch. 12,000 pounds, but we pulled that F250. Sounds like my girl might be home. She's gonna come in here, like you guys said. She'll go, "You talking to those weirdos again? What the hell's going on?" Yeah, I think she's home. I'm gonna be in trouble. I thought you were gonna do this today or that today. No, she's good, man. I got a good one. She's pretty cool. But we've been trying to get something going. I'm thinking about doing another video about vice grips. I was thinking about doing is like, so I have some original vice grips. What do you guys think of this? What do you think of this idea? I got some original bright vice grips. So if you guys don't know, the original vice grips, they say Peterson Manufacturing on them. They don't say that they're not the originals. You see a lot of them is on the side, it'll say original. Then on the other side, it says Irwin. They're not Irwins. Yeah, for sure. Why are you calling him that? He was picking a fight with me. Call him a maggot. What kind of maggot are you, man? Anyway, I was thinking about doing a video. So if you look, so like these are the, let's see, these are the originals. See how narrow? It's hard to see right there. And these are the new style. These are Irwins. So I was thinking about doing a video and making a piece that goes on the back of here and put a toe strap on there and clamp this on the back of the tongue of my motorhome and see if we can get it to move and then test them between each other. So test these, the new Irwins, against these like 40, 50-year-old originals and make a video comparing the two. I mean, look at the difference. Look how bulky. I mean, it just, as needle nose pliers, look how bulky these are compared to the original ones. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. See how narrow those are? Look how funky these are. These things are a 1/4 inch wide. These are like an 1/8 or less. So like you need to reach in and grab something, you know, like a piece of cable or something. These old ones are so much better. And these are the originals, man. These, I don't know when they stopped making them where it said Peterson on them, but these are original Petersons. And then these are those Huskies that you can get now at like Home Depot. And when you clamp them, look at they don't, I mean, there's a gap right here in between. You see that? The only thing that's touching is the very tip. So anyway. I told this story the other night. I told this story just the other night about JB Weld. So when I was I must have been 16 or 17. I think I was just almost 17. I had a 58 Ford pickup. And here in California, it hardly ever freezes, you know. It can freeze, but not very often. But at the time, I didn't know nothing about cars, man. I didn't know squat. And so I did a water pump. My uncle showed me how to take the water pump off. So I took it off and I put a new water pump on it. And when I got done, I just filled it up with water. And so the next day, I come out and there's water dripping out from underneath the truck, and it got really cold that night. And so I lifted the hood up and it was coming out of the side of the block. You can see water coming right out of the side of the block. I'm like, oh no, what did I do? So I went and got my uncle. I said, man, I think I ruined that truck. And he goes, why? I said, I did that water pump yesterday. And I said, it looks like the block has a crack in it. I go, there's water coming out of the side of the engine. He goes, did you put antifreeze in it? And I go, no. Yeah, I don't know why the freeze plug didn't pop, but it didn't. No, it wasn't a freeze plug. It actually cracked the block. He goes, you got a crack in the block because you didn't put no antifreeze in it. And I go, holy, and it was my truck, it's the only vehicle I had. He goes, we can fix that. I'm like, how are you going to fix that? He goes, go get me a grinder. He goes, first of all, he goes, drain the water out, drain the radiator, get the water out, let it sit for a little bit. And he goes, go get me a grinder. So it was about 4 or 5 inch crack, man, this long. It wasn't really obvious, but you could see where the water was coming out for like 5 inches, 4.5 inches. It's on a straight 6 Ford motor. He took that grinder and he ground right into where it was cracked and put a nice big V in it like that on both sides. Mixed up a whole tube of JB Weld, put it on there. He said, don't mess with that. Don't do nothing with it for 24 hours. And so when we were done, filled that thing with water. I drove that truck for 4 years after that, and it never leaked. And as far as that was my claim to fame with JB Weld. It's like, that's the best stuff ever made. They should be charging $20 a tube for that stuff. You blow a fan belt, everything freezes. Oh, you blow a fan belt, everything freezes. All the liquid gas conversions? I was unaware of that. What happens if I refuel my petrol engine with nitro fuel? Yeah, I don't know if that'd be I think the thing, bad shit's going to happen there. Really high compression. Sally S. I'm not sure what that would do. I think it would with nitro. Yeah. You're saying refuel, like refuel it, convert it from gas to nitro. You'd have to do a lot of conversions. It takes a lot of different types of like high performance stuff when you move into nitro. You said a set of hair clippers? Yeah, man, it's amazing stuff. I stepped on my glasses at work one time, broke them in half, and I glued those together. My daughter, she fixed her radiator before with it, just to get her by. If you blew a hole in a Camry block, you can just keep driving. How's that? I had a Camry at one time, and it got overheated, and we put a 6-pack of beer in the radiator. Got home. There was a hot 6-pack of beer in the back seat, and I said, give me those beers, and popped the cans open and dumped them in there. I said, it ain't gonna matter. Fluid's fluid. We're out in the middle where we couldn't get to no water, and it was leaking. It had a little leak. So I just filled it up, started it up, and cooled down. We drove home. Okay, boys and girls, I gave up 2 hours, man. I appreciate you hanging out here with me this morning. Maybe later, if I do that brake job, I'll drag it out there and do a live. I was thinking maybe some people that are trying to do some repairs would appreciate watching somebody how you actually do a brake job. But we'll see. But I got to get off here. I got stuff to do. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Had a nice cup of coffee, 2-hour cup of coffee. All right, man. You guys take care. We gone. Hey, go check out those links. Check out those lights. They're pretty cool. If nothing else, just click on it. Take a look at them.